In this video, I want to introduce you to the new field level permissions in Hansoft. Looking at this screenshot of a Hansoft backlog, you're probably familiar already with the delegation and limited visibility system that we have in place to help you set up which rows of information are going to be accessible to who, to either see them or to be able to edit them. What we have added now in Hansoft 11.1 is also a column permission system. So combining these two systems, now we have complete granular field level access to the information that you keep in Hansoft. So you can ensure that everyone can do and see and edit exactly the information that they should be able to. I will show you 4 different permissions that we have set up. So we will talk about the unrestricted edit, which would mean that regardless of my delegation permissions, I will be allowed to edit everything, for example, in this column that's called business value. Normal is just an option there to ensure that we're going to follow just the normal permissions, and that is something that we need, for example, if you would have overlap between different groups and users and so forth. So that would be what typically applies if you don't change anything. Then we have read-only columns. So these are ones that you want to make sure that regardless of if you have been delegated a section of the backlog, you will never be able to edit these fields. And also you can now hide a column entirely from a user or from a group. Some things that are good to know before I jump into a brief demonstration of this functionality is that this does not apply to main managers. So just like before with delegation and so forth, if you're a main manager, you will always be allowed to do everything for all the columns. And you also have to set this up only once. So if you set up the columns in the project view or in the planning view or in the backlog view, it does not matter. It will be the same to ensure that we keep it simple for you. And also in the first release that I'm going to show you here today, this will apply to custom columns in the system. So for example, the item name would not be a column that you can currently hide from users and so forth. Let's go into Hansoft. So here is a small demo project where I have this column business value. Now to find the new functionality, you will go to More, Customize Project, and there is now a new column permission tab on the left-hand side here where you will find a list of all of your custom columns. Since I haven't set up any permissions here now, nothing will happen. So when you upgrade your Hansoft server, everything will work just like it used to do before. So we're not changing anything when you start to use this. But if I now select, for example, business value, I can now here on the right-hand side add, for example, the A team and say that this should be a read-only field for them. Or I could add, for example, another team, the B team here, and says this should be a column that is always hidden from everyone in this group. You can also add individual users, of course. In the case that you will have overlap between these two groups now, so that there will be a user that is both in the A team and in the B team, then the most restrictive permission will apply. So in this case, that user should not be able to see that column ever because it is hidden. So these are 2 examples of how you can restrict access to data in Hansoft. So I also want to show you in this other column, for example, this one is called external notes, which is just a multi-line text field, as you can see here in the bottom. If I want to, I might want to say, well, everyone, all project members, they should always be able to edit this regardless of what delegation or anything else we have set up. These external notes is for anyone to always update, for example, input they're having from customers or elsewhere. So you can use these new permissions either to restrict access, and you will notice on these icons here what permissions we have set for each one. And then you could also use it then to extend the access and actually give more than what you can do in previous versions of Hansoft. And these changes take effect immediately. So as soon as you click OK, that's all you have to do. Now they are there, and this is how it will work now in this project. So that was it. I think with this addition here, we're hoping that you have everything you need to get full capability to control your permissions in Hansoft. And please let us know if you have any questions or concerns.